Hi, my name is Jerry Keeling. I am a senior health science major with the concentration in policy and administration from Dallas, Texas. And we're going to be discussing the mating across the animal kingdom. First, we're going to talk about monogamy. Monogamy is pretty much between a male and a woman. This can be seen throughout many species, including penguins, wolves, and swans. They basically create lifelong partnerships where they form a family to continue the lineage, and their parents take a more prominent role in the development of their child. Next, we're going to talk about gibbons, monogamy and gibbons. So throughout their lives, they create a song. Once they find their mate, they combine songs and become one. I think that is very touching how they can really settle out their whole life when they're being alone and they're trying to get through this. I'm imagining this. Creating a song and then combining forces to create a beautiful harmony with your partner, in which later on your children can be involved with. I think that's pretty cool. Once they mate, they groom each other, causing their bond to be deeper, more connected. Usually, you can see this in a husband and wife when they're spending quality time with each other. But again, we're talking about animals. They do the same thing, so you can see how those lines cross within each other. One theory is why most animals choose to be monogamous is they ensure their offsprings are well taken care of and continue their lineages. I think that is very important, uh, excuse me. I think that's very important because as a human, we can consider ourselves animals as well. But as a human, you want to make sure your child is taken care of and provided for, so you know that they can provide for their family and so forth and so on. And we can see that being translated through animalia as well. Next, we're talking about monogamy in eagles. Even though throughout the years they are apart, they manage to find a way back to one another. Um, Again, because they are a bird species, you would expect them to mate around. However, they don't. They continue to hold the familyship bond together. They're able to, provide for one another, even though they may be so far away not during the mating season, but once the mating season comes around, they create a foundation, which is a nest. In each mating season, their nest gets bigger and bigger, providing for their family. I did see a quote where it said there was one eagle's nest that was 9 feet, and I thought that was completely crazy to know that they have managed to build that nest over time, which is a representation of their love. Also with eagles, the male plays a significant role in the upbringing of the chicks. So normally, well, for humans, we see that mostly in, husband and wife, where the wife takes care of the kids. However, in Animalia, birds to be exact, the male is taking care of the kids, which is kind of different. However, he is to protect and provide, and the simple fact that he's able to do that for his chicks to continue their life cycle is pretty cool. I also wanted to mention how even in class we have mentioned a lock and key method when it comes to reproducing. We were able to touch penis bones and all types of craziness in class, but it just really shows the fact that, we are made for one another, and to continue those lineages is a prominent role, trying to basically continue the lifespan. You want to see your lineage go. You want to see other species and even your own particular species prosper and learn and adapt to new things. And it's pretty cool to see how different species have made it along the way.
I'm Ariel Charles. I'm a third-year health sciences major, concentration in community health from Brooklyn, New York. My part of this project, the topic is polygamy. So what is polygamy? Polygamy is a mating system where one male mates with multiple females, but the female mates with one male. Polygamy occurs differently in other species, including birds, mammals, and more. Its systems are less in terms of genetic diversity because of one male sharing all of the offspring. Benefits that come from polygamy systems for the males because it increases their fitness and reproductive success. Benefits for the systems for female species is chosen to gain access to the greatest resources available. A strategy often used by the males in order to increase reproductive fitness. So now we're going to go specifically into two species that I chose that relate to polygamy, which is a lion and a red panda. So for the red panda, when it comes to polygamy, choosing a mate begins with various males who are competing over one female. Once the female makes her decision, she will attract her male with scent marking. This is basically the process of the female marking her territory and showing the male-female that she wants to mate with him in order to begin the process of reproduction. Polygamy with the red panda species promotes strong competition for access to the female's mating system, and it often attracts more males, which creates a competitive situation in certain cases. Panda mating season begins in the spring and it runs from mid-March to mid-May. They typically conceive within 3 to 7 days. Now, we're going to go on to the lion species. So the lion species in terms of polygamy is different from the pandas because there's no competition with the mating. The female usually invites the male to have intercourse by assuming a position. The male will follow the female around and watch her closely to capture the signs of her fertility. Once the male acknowledges that she is fertile, he will proceed and begin the process of mating. So female lions gain genetic advantage by having different fathers for different cubs. It helps to ensure the diversity in the lioness offspring and increases the chances that they will have winning the combination of genes. Something that stuck out to me that I found was surprising with the panda species in terms of polygamy and mating is the fact that the woman is the one who basically starts the process of attracting the males. Normally and typically in mammals, you see that the male is the one who is competing with other males in order to pick a female that they see as fertile in order to start the process of mating and reproduction. And similar to pandas, lions also do the same thing because when I was doing my research, I found out that the female is the one who invites the male to have intercourse, and the male will make the final decision if he wants to continue with that process. So I feel like it's very much for both of these species, the female who are initiating the process of mating. But I do know that because it is with polygamy, she does this with multiple males, which results in the offspring having many of the genes that come from the father.
Polygamy consists of any mating system where a male or female mates with two or more members of the opposite sex. This form of mating comes with benefits and disadvantages. The benefits include allowing the animal to increase the amount of fitness they are getting daily, and it also benefits the male of the pair by providing them with multiple offspring from different mothers, which will allow them to succeed reproductively. A disadvantage would be the female's feeling as though the father is doing more for the other, which will cause her to fight for resources from the male, such as food and nest protection. There are two animals that practice polygamy, but let's start with cats. It is possible for cats that you keep as pets at home to produce offspring with different male cats during their lifetime. A female cat can produce a litter 3 times a year, but it's recommended that they reproduce only once or twice a year to give the mom the proper amount of time to recover. Also, female cats have the ability to superfecundate, which is where the mom is able to produce the litter where the kittens she's given birth to were fathered by more than one cat. As far as dogs go, you see many people breeding their dogs with others in order to produce offspring that they can sell and may even choose one to keep. Owners find pleasure in mating their female dogs with different breeds to see the outcome of the pups. Most dog owners breed their dogs for the money, so the more attractive the pup is based on the father, the more money they will make. And you see a lot of people making a career out of it as well. Depending on the breed, the interval for reproduction can vary from once or twice a year.
Hi, I am Kiara Ward, and I am a third year biology education major from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And I will be talking about the polyandry mating practice in the animal kingdom. Now, I know that many people do not know about this mating practice, which is okay because it is very rare in the animal kingdom. Now, let's just dive in and start with what is polyandry? Polyandry is when the female will mate with multiple males while the males will only mate with one female. This is very similar to polygamy because it is pretty much the same thing except the roles are reversed. Just to show how similar these two mating practices are, I will give an example of a polygamous animal. The animal that many of us think of when talking about polygamy are lions. This is because the male lion has many lionesses that he mates with while they only mate with him. Also, we know that male lions are very territorial and won't let any other male in their territory, or they will risk being attacked and possibly killed. Now, knowing what polygamy is, all you have to do is change your thinking from males having many mates into females having many mates. This is all polyandry is in a sense. Although polyandry is rare in the animal kingdom, it is more common for birds to be polyandrous than any other branch of animals. Now that we know the similarities between polyandry and polygamy, we can now talk about some animals that are polyandrous. One animal that is polyandrous are sanderlings. Sanderlings are small birds that have a brown back and a white underside that live along the shoreline. The female sanderlings usually have two nests with eggs from different males. The two nests of the female sanderlings will either have the female sanderling incubating the one nest while the male incubates her other nest, or she'll just have two different males incubating both of her nests. While the males are incubating her nest, the female sanderling will just leave the males to take care of her young so she can go mate with more males. Another animal that is polyandrous is the Harris hawk. However, they are only polyandrous depending on the situation. Harris hawks are big, brown, predatory birds with yellow markings on their face that live in the scrubs. In some cases, Harris hawks will be polygamous if the area has an abundance of food, just like many other animals. However, if the food source is scarce, the Harris hawks will just be polyandrous. Now, to reiterate, the similarities between polyandry and polygamy could be shown just by looking at how the female hawk or Harris hawk behaves. The female Harris hawk is naturally aggressive, so when the food source is scarce, she will attack other females that are in her territory and kill off all offspring in the territory that she is taking over. This is very common for the males in a polygamous relationship.